What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 24 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, Karl took on the first of the Wood Elves in fighting Drika, well, not her own force, of course, but a minion lord of hers that we did catch outside of the ruins of Essen. Afterwards, Karl immediately proceeded to do the quest battle and acquired Galmaraz, his signature weapon, and the Warhammer that is the namesake of the entire franchise. Now we are able to probably proceed to the Griffin Wood, or at least will be able to in next turn, so that's going to be on the menu today, or at least I'd like to hope, but we are going to prioritize destroying Vlad for good with Wolfram here, who's been itching to get into combat for quite the while. Plus, considering his army isn't currently as powerful as Karl's, I do believe that that might make for a more interesting battle, though on the other hand, Griffin Wood is quite well defended as well, so both could be pretty darn fun. Now, in terms of what we gotta do this turn, we do have to, let's see, probably not a lot of movement as we did finish up all the moves last time, but we do have a lot of money to spend, and our money is also growing. In addition to all the accomplishments of last episode, we got the profit buff, which is giving us just an insane amount of buffs all over the place, so we definitely want to take advantage of it. Have as many battles right now as we possibly can, so Karl definitely up to Griffin Wood, and I guess Wolfram, this is probably the time to declare war on Carrick Hearn, so head down to Ackendorf and maybe Migdalt and Galbarak. I don't know how well you will do against the Dwarfen armies, but once again, now is probably the best time. And at least we have the Knights of Moor here and the Outriders, which will be the bane of any Dwarfen army. We just gotta catch them out. Hopefully they try to go for Steingart or something and allow us to take them out. And well, what is this? Looks like the Disciples of the Maw are moving around. We're not at war with them yet, technically. Although they are at war with our friends. I guess we'll see about that. Anyway, let's spend some cash, shall we? Let's see where we want to spend it. Altdorf, we will want to get the Menagerie, but we don't need it right now. Mostly because, well, we can't afford the Demigriffs. And we probably don't want to. 500 gold per unit is quite expensive. And if we can get like 5 turns of making 7,000 gold per turn, that'll be a huge boost to our economy and will allow us to, or enable us to get a bunch of different armies much sooner by virtue of being able to afford them. Anyway, Castle Baston, probably a good upgrade. Let's get that cloth up and running. And we could either upgrade Baston itself or Montfort, or we could see about something else. Massive Orcal, I think we can just leave as it is, though a tap room here might be a decent thing to do. If we trade this away, as in if we swap this to another faction, we could always delete that thing first. And at the very least, I mean, the control here is quite problematic. Though, of course, the Confederation debuff will be gone, but so will all of our bonus event control buffs. Then again, this isn't super critical right now, so we can always wait for it and do it later. Bordelot, okay, now that is super critical. Bordelot, we will definitely upgrade you so we can get that harbor up and running. And, oh, I see why I didn't upgrade that last time, because the commandment is taking effect next turn. So we could save 360 gold. Which isn't all that much, to be perfectly honest. You know what? I think we'll upgrade it right now. The faster this thing is upgraded, the better. Who knows when Nakari will declare war on us and sail down here, or if Bellicor will go past, ignoring all of Bretonnia, to go for us. I would not be surprised in the least. Next up, what do we have left? Northern Sylvania. You could get another growth building, but once again, not very critical right now, and oh, that's it. Alrighty, well, I guess we could upgrade the Blackstone Post stuff. Though, also, the public order here is also quite problematic. Although, I guess we could build a public order building in the Blackstone Post itself and thereby start collecting money. We do have an iron mine and a die maker, or a cinnabar rather, mine here as well. Alright, fine. Just upgrade the town. Expensive though it may be. No, you know what? I think Baston or Montfort will actually take priority. Let's do this. And we can build a paved road here as well. Over the fields, I think. I guess we could build the fields too, but I think paved road and tap room while we have control issues, though eventually we'll delete several of the tap rooms once our public order has been fixed up. Now, we did get 2 new captains. Let's see what their values are. Regal, which is kind of meh. And we got Tactician, which is also kind of meh, at least for a captain. I think it's kind of meh. That said, we're not going to delete them right now. We could replace them immediately because we're at 4 out of 4. But I think what we'll do is we'll send them both far, far away. One to find Marcus Wolfhart, and one to find Volkmar the Grim. You guys have been asking in the comments what we're going to do about those two, and I think it's time to find them. Granted, I don't think Volkmar will die, mostly because it's pretty unlikely. He's got very strong starting position, mostly because Talaqua is to his south, and they usually ally against Arcan and the Drakenhof Conclave, and whatever. But I suppose there could be a bad situation where he gets into a war with Talaqua, though in that case I think he'll be long dead. On the other hand, Marcus Wolfhart might die. He's in a much worse position, so let's sail out there, let's see if we can't find him. And you know what, we can sail by Ulthuan, though it is a complete mess right now, and maybe we'll get a trade agreement going with Eataine, or with Avalorn, or any of the elves that aren't fighting each other currently. Elves. Why do they always cause problems? Alrighty, well, I believe that's it for what we have to do right now. We do also want to... Do we need this army right now? Do we really want to be paying for these things? We have a couple mortars here. We have a unit of great swords, which, while useful, are also quite expensive. We can get 4 halberdiers, or 3 and some halberdiers, for the price, well, actually just 3. 3 halberdiers for the price of a single greatsword. 200 gold per turn. It seems not worth it. We can always build another if we need to, but we don't need this as an army right now, so we're going to delete you, but we're going to keep the rest as a temporary force in case we need to reinforce something, or to hold the line against something coming from the north. I'm sure we'll be seeing the Ecstatic Legions and Throggy before long. We also may want to attack and take Erengrad from the Great Orthodoxy, mostly because it's a great territory, and frankly, we've thrown our lot in with the Ice Court, and not with the Orthodoxy, so yeah. Alrighty. Show our support for the Tsaritsa. Now, let's see. Unassigned skill points, the rest of that is good. I believe we're ready to end the turn. Alright, let's get to it. Gotta fight Vlad. Well, let's see if anything interesting happens. And hopefully we can recover Beckhofen and Nagenhof, though I think we'll prioritize taking Griffin Wood over Nagenhof first. I just really hope that the Ice Court doesn't grab it. Let's see, join the war against the Bloody Hands. We will, but not now. There's no point in getting this right now. Alright, anything else interesting happening? Oh, Beckhofen just got taken by Ostland. That's a little bit annoying. Yeah, Ostermark demands city. Well, Ostland won't like that very much, but we gotta get the Imperial authorities, so... On the bright side, at least it wasn't Kislev. That would have been worse. Yeah, demand Beckhofen's return. And wait a second, didn't Sturland take Mordheim? Huh. Oh, I guess it can only offer one thing per turn. Huh. So will it offer Mordheim back next turn, or will it simply never offer it at all? I guess we're gonna find out. It'll be annoying if it never offers it, but I guess when we confederate with Sturland and Ostermark, that'll solve the situation either way. Ooh, hello. Hobnail's Throat Cruncher. Knobnails, rather. You gotta love Orky names. The Throat Cruncher is pretty good, I gotta say. It's definitely one of my favorite ones that I've seen lately. Of the Orky names in this game, anyway. Let's see, Karl. Well, you are able to hit Griffinwood. Are you able to hit it with Trench's stance? Yes, you are. Alright, time to burn Droika out, I guess. What tier is this at? Tier 5? Oh my. We can take this at tier 4 then. I guess we're not sacking it then. And low casualties. Okay, I think it's lying. A, because they have a rain of arrows, which could very badly damage one of our infantry units. And B, that's just a lot of enemy range, and we don't really have the artillery that we'd normally want to counter them. And Karl will be in danger flying around at all times as well. Alright, well that, I'm sure, will be a fun battle. We'll do it in a little bit. You could actually come in as a reinforcement to add your mortar to the fray. I was gonna move you in march stance to take Nagenhof, but maybe this is the better option. We can do that anyway. Wait, and can you do this in regular stance? Yes, you can. I think you're in range. Let's find out.
Of course.
Hopefully they didn't just screw us over by not being in range. No, we're in range. Alrighty, lovely. Absolutely lovely. We'll do that in a bit, but it is not the priority right now. Gregor von Bluten. I'm still not sure where to send you. What I am sure of is we gotta fight Vladi now. So, Wolfram Custerman, this is your time to shine. You have your patrol captains ready to go, 3 of them in fact. You have your items, you have your trenches.
I will do anything for Sigmar.
And it's time to end the vampires for good. The Banner of Swiftness will go on, I think, the Knights of Moor, who are our specialty unit here. Yeah, the Razor Standard can be on the Sigmar Sons, I like that. I mean, I suppose we could also put it on the Knights of Moor, powering them up further. But I like the idea of making the Sigmar Sons very powerful because they're unbreakable, and besides... it just says cavalry. It doesn't say shock cavalry. Wait, it is just regular cavalry, right. Okay, so these guys are not shock cavalry? They don't have lances? And they just have swords? Are they shield? Oh, they do have shields. Well, we'll take a look at them in a second.
For the Emperor!
For some reason I was expecting them to be shock cavalry because they're Empire Knights. Are Empire Knights not, like regular Empire Knights, not shock cavalry? You can just see here. Yeah, they are shock cavalry. And Blazing Sun are, and I take it Knights Panther are as well, but the Knights of Moor are not. Interesting. You, Nud. You are going to hopefully be in range like this. I can't quite tell. Maybe. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe so. Yes, you are. All right, beautiful. You don't need to suffer any more attrition. You've suffered enough. Though you will soon be getting your own army, so it'll all have been worth it by then. Alrighty, this looks like we're prepared. Vladi does have some Graveguard. Granted, this is not looking to be a very difficult fight, but nonetheless I do think we should fight this cinematically because it's Vlad's last hurrah. And I love him too much not to give him his due.
I have my orders.
Alrighty, here we go, the final battle against Vlad and his vampires. And it's unfortunate that it is not Karl who will put Vlad back in the grave, but at last, the Wolfram army, or Wolfram specifically, doesn't have the defeated trait for Vlad, so he has to be the one to do it. Plus, it's alright for a warrior priest, I think, to get rid of one of their oh-so-hated vampires. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off with our Outriders, which is pretty great. You gotta love these guys, and they're gonna have a lot of fun grenading the very slow-moving Graveguard. And they've got take cover on them, and oh, that reduces their missile resistance as well. That's quite useful. And I think about putting that into a few other armies as well. In addition to that, this is going to be the debut battle of the Knights of Moor, who just look pretty darn fantastic with that black and gold armor and that they've got going on. And there we go. And yes, indeed, they have no lances, but are rather sword users.
Enemy wizard spotted.
Alright, though as I understand it, Knights of Moor, or the Order, the Black Guard of Moor Order, will basically use anything. As in, they have various types of weapons that they use, not merely lance or otherwise. Anyway, looks like our Outriders have waited for the very last couple of seconds to run away from those Crypt Horrors. Really gotta be careful about using that skirmish mode, whereas the other ones are running away from Vlad just fine, who is just booking it at 90 speed. I guess he is using the potion of speed as well, but generally speaking, you gotta love SFO for giving vampires their speed. They should absolutely be running faster, or as fast as horses, because that's what they do in the lore. Granted, they tend to use undead steeds a lot, but they don't have to. Probably more of a pride thing than anything else, because vampires do have a tendency to be prideful. Anyway, the Black Knights are deciding to fight the Knights of Moor, and that's a nice little matchup. I guess you could call both of them Black Knights, but then after our charge we can get out so that we don't get bogged down fighting the enemy horrors. We can simply drop a soul fire on him and continue fire from our range units. So far, our range units are doing quite a bit of damage. One of the enemy horrors already basically destroyed from the handgunners and crossbows focusing them down. The Graveguard and Skeleton Warriors taking a beating from those Outriders as well. And so far, we've only committed our summoned Halberdiers and our summoned Greatswords to the fray. I guess technically the Knights of Moor as well, but they've barely been hurt, and they will have their opportunity to charge again. Here comes that soul fire. Probably not going to do anything crazy to the Crypt Horrors here, but that's okay. There's plenty of Graveguard and Black Knights around as well. Alright, there's that defensive buff, still waiting on the Grand Soulfire. I guess we can watch from this direction, because we can see all of our ranged units rip the enemy apart. There we go, the first Crypt Horror unit is down. The Bordermen are also going to fire, so the grenades are going to drop in on those Crypt Horror, or those Crypt Ghouls, rather, and the guns continue gunning them down as they like. More Crypt Horrors dropping over on this side, and mortars also firing at the enemy piles of Graveguard. Did I just miss the Grand Soulfire? Maybe I missed it, my bad. Oh well, not a big deal at the end of the day, even if I did miss it. Here comes our infantry. Granted, we didn't need to put them in, but frankly, the enemy's getting absolutely wrecked from every direction, and I felt like we might as well enjoy the infantry fighting a little bit, especially the Halberdiers, since they don't get a lot of mainline infantry action. Our Outriders have also managed to lead away 2 to 3 Graveguard units who tried to chase them, only to get repeatedly bombarded or hit by those grenades. Nud is also coming in as a reinforcement, and well, the Knights of Moor have surrounded and are about to kill a vampire, which I'm sure that they appreciate very much, because they take the undead as a personal approach, or a blasphemy against the death god Moor. So they'll be putting that vampire back to the grave with gusto. The Bordermen firing once again into the enemy pile and arcing over the rest of our Halberdiers, so doing a fairly decent job as well. Our armor piercing on our Halberdiers is also coming in pretty handy against the Graveguard here because of their armor. And I do like that our Lord is leading our infantry against the main enemy fight. It looks like the battle, however, is just about done. Most of the enemy units are already crumbling away. The balance of power about 85 to 90% in our favor, and even Vlad in weak binding already, having taken a decent amount of hits from various ranged units. It looks like the Vampire, now being attacked by Nud, as well as the Knights of Moor, is just about to drop as well, which is great. And I'm loving the fact that Nud actually got to fight with the Knights. He is a Knight Master after all, and he does match the Knights of Moor as well. And though once again, I think he'll be leading our Knights Panther. Alrighty, just gotta kill off the last remaining units in this pile. We haven't managed to gun down these Crypt Horrors as yet, but that's okay. Here comes the Grand Soulfire and the charge of the Knights of Moor at the same time. And it looks like the last of those Graveguard will crumble away. The Crypt Horrors will follow suit and start dropping. And I guess the aura that the Knights of Moor provide will also help various units that we have blobbed up here fight the enemy. At this point, I've told our artillery and our grenadiers to stop firing. Looks like Vlad is about to drop as well. He's down to 800 HP, and even with the Blood Drinker and even with all the healing that he has, is just not gonna hold. He is also completely surrounded by Halberdiers and the Sigmar Sons and our Summoned Greatswords, and will be the last to fall. And here comes our Lord to deliver the final blow. Our infantry is going to move away, and he will strike Vlad down, though we don't see the final attack, because the game always loves to end the battle without showing the death animation of the last unit, which is always a shame. But oh well, it's one of the unfortunate aspects of playing against the undead, who crumble away and disappear rather than leave a unit to run away. With the exception of, I guess, Sartosa, who usually brings a living unit or two, and that you can chase. And there we are. So ends the sire of the von Karstein line, the rebellious, at least according to Imperial propaganda, Count of Sylvania, and again, according to Imperial propaganda, the pretender to the Imperial throne, though some whisper that he truly was the rightful emperor. I'm just saying, spitting facts here. Anyway, it looks like Vlad gave out and no resurrections this time. 100 units lost, which is really not that bad. We should be able to heal up to full just fine with the bonus casualty or punishment we have from the Galmaraz quest. We also got a Banner of Eternal Flame, which is quite lovely, as we can put that on various units and it would really help out. Alrighty, let's occupy the place. And we had a couple missions. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh okay, everybody loved that. And we got the bonus hit points for defeating Vlad. Blackwater Province secured, Sylvania destroyed, and oh wow, short victory achieved. Huh. Wasn't expecting that right now, but the bonus hero capacity is really going to be quite nice. What's our long victory? Long victory condition is to get the entire empire. That's going to take a while. 47 turns for short victory. And short victories are so short, you never... It's basically impossible to get access to higher tier units. If we beelined it, i.e. rushed to tier 4, we might have been able to get a tier 4 unit. But look, Altdorf has been upgraded to tier 4 as soon as it was available. So... we upgraded the Foundry pretty much as soon as available, so I don't think it was actually possible at all.
What's the quarry?
Well... at least it's aptly named. Short victory, I mean. Anyway, you can go back into regular stance, and I guess, well, both of you can sit right here. Nud, you can trade your high-ranking mortar to Wolfram, I believe. And we do have to figure out what we want to do with the various Selector Count state troops. We got to get those up and running. We could also get a Sutzen's guns in Wolfram's army, which would allow the mortars to continue firing even when our lines are engaged. It would also mean this army would basically have to keep mortars, and I'm not entirely sure. Although I do think that the Sutzen's guns may be a good idea. If we make Wolfram's army the Flagellant army, and trade all of his other state troops to another force, that could work quite well, because the Flagellants are quite vulnerable, and the Sutzen's guns... yeah, you know what, I like that. I like that quite a bit. The Sigmar Sons work with the Flagellants. They are just as unbreakable as they are. The Sutzen's guns don't hurt the fragile Flagellants either. Yes, okay.
Champion of the faith.
The plan is there, which means we can start going through Imperial gunnery, I guess. Speed of horse... wait. So this buffs Sigmarite disciples, okay, good. Yeah, so the main thing we will need, I suppose, then, is Imperial gunnery here. We can also get Sigmar's ward for you. Brass lunged could be useful for you as well. Yeah, let's hold on to the point for now. I'll think about what we need to apply. Also, now that that battle is done and this army has fought just like Karl's, let's do some naming here. Alright, let me see if I can read my own writing here. Alright, this is for a Reiksguard unit, which I guess only Karl has, so you... not the Zinthler's Reiksguard, because they already have a name, as the Regiment of Renown are gonna be... Lances Reiksguard, no. Lances of Sigmar, and then another Reiksguard. We're gonna run out of Reiksguard very fast if you guys only name Reiksguard. This is gonna be Crimson Lances. Alright, everybody loves Lances. This actually sounds really like a Blood Knight's name, so I gotta approve. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I have something of a thing for the Vampire Counts. Alrighty, next up is a Great Sword unit. Iron Company, huh. Funnily enough, Iron Companies actually exist in... You know what, I'm gonna name this the Iron Company instead. Slight variation, sorry about that, but, for those that don't know, Iron Companies do exist in Warhammer. They're actually a subset of the Nuln army, and they're the troops that guard the various artillery pieces of the Nuln armies, and they're called Iron Companies. I actually have a book on my shelf called Iron Company. I don't remember it very well, but I assume it had plenty of stuff. But yeah, I remember there being an artillery train and all that sort of stuff. Nuln Ironsides are also part of Iron Companies as well. Anyway, continuing the naming, before I forget again. You have just fought, so let's give you your name as well. Knights of Moor, you shall be... Read this. Knights of Caliban, there we go. A reference to the Dark Angels, according to the comment that suggested the name, and... The heck does that say? Wastelanders, what? I didn't specify a unit, but I'm going to assume Wastelanders was for one of the Bordermen. Let's go with a higher ranked one. It's certainly earned its name. The Wastelanders or just Wastelanders? I don't know, let's go with the Wastelanders. Alright, well that's good enough for now. And if I forgot your name, please remind me again, because I don't have a good system for keeping track of names. I don't know how other people do it. There's got to be some kind of automated way to do this, but doing it through Discord seems kind of dumb to me, because then you have to go to another place to suggest it. But anyway, let's get back to this. I get distracted as usual. Gregor, let's keep you moving. You gotta hunt down a Bellicor. Ooh, he's actually uncomfortably close. Let's move you to Fort Bird Bray then. And we'll have Recruiter transfer his stuff. Yeah, oh wow, he's badly oh damn, I didn't realize he was so hurt. Considering how badly damaged he is, we could probably, if we can, maybe hunt him down via ambush stance. I kind of regret not putting you into ambush stance and trying that. I thought that he was at full HP, but I should have checked, that's my bad. But I'm sure we'll get him again. Also, you are gonna do this. And then you're going to go here to Marienburg, and you're going to upgrade this Tailor's Guild. We want to upgrade the landed estate as well. Quite expensive, but we do want Marienburg to grow. Plus, we could always delete it later. And we will delete it later, I should say. But you're going to go back here because you're in State Troop Levy. Or actually, no, you're not.
Quicken your stride.
You're going to go here to increase the money that we make. There we go. It's not like he really needs to move anywhere, and I don't think Bellicor can jump him. Does Bellicor have access to teleport stance? I don't remember. But I'd rather assume that he does just in case. Next up, Peter. Ooh, hello, Ikit. You're reachable. Though he'll probably run. And we could try to ambush forward. Nah, let's just hit him anyway. If he actually lost the battle here, and I don't know that he did or he didn't, but if he did, he won't be able to move. Ah, he didn't. And he's gonna go around. Nah, that's a shame. It is a shame, but what can you do? Oh well, not a huge deal. You can keep chasing after him. Probably should have gone for ambush and then gone right here, but who knew? Also, this army is very badly damaged, and I think Peter's already defeated it once, has he not? Yeah, he has. So he already has the defeat trait, which we wanted on him. Alright, well that looks good to me. Who is Gregor? Oh right, this guy. Who I still don't know what to do with. You know what, you're just gonna sit in Taliban for now. Until I figure out what to do with you. Karl, you're about to attack, but let's do a little bit more admin, because I just want to spread this out. Battles and admin, I mean. Marcus Huss, and you're headed out this way, and you can continue doing so. And Dolph Allenstag, you... Let's send you to the sea. And Ludwig, actually, let's send both of them by sea.
Let us move.
This way we won't discover a bunch of factions that'll probably instantly declare war on us.
This would break my
There we go.
heart. How should we proceed?
I guess we could in theory send only one to find both Wolfheart and the Cult of Sigmar, but the problem is, yeah, that would take too long. I'd rather not risk it. Thyrus Nussbacher, you cannot join Leonard Holtz here.
What does the Emperor bid?
Well, that's a shame. We could put you into... Oh no, we cannot put you into March. And damn, I was hoping to get him involved in this fight. Oh well. And if we can't do it, we can't do it.
Yes.
I guess we
son
could
of
delete one of
Sigmar.
the high-level units from Karl's army, but no, I'm not going to do that. You're going to move this way then. Under the assumption that Karl's going to move this way as well, because we probably will have to deal with some orcs shortly. Alrighty, next up, let's spend the money we have, and then diplomacy, and then we fight again. Baston, yes, we can get to public order here. We're going to lose the 25% public order shortly. We do no longer need state troop levy. At least not right now. Yeah, fine, go for tap room. Actually, 21 is not so bad. We could also avoid building this and build the paved... No, we gotta build it afterwards, fine. It should be fine. Hopefully these guys don't come down here, but as long as Gregor is here to police the place, then it should be okay. But let's put you back then to Council of Burgomeisters for the extra growth. Next up, Southern Sylvania, Castle Drakenhof, the Temple of Sigmar. It's finally time to build you. We don't have anything that reduces the cost here, but nonetheless, we want access to all those Sigmarites. Massive Orcal, we're gonna keep you as you are for now. Unless there's there's better upgrades. We got a lumberyard available at Castle Tempelhof and weaving house as well, so plenty of cash out of that. And I guess we can upgrade the farm as well, and that's all of our money. Alright, so assuming that there's no diplomacy... Oh, right. Eric Dromar, you don't need any of this. At all. And we can pop you into... Well, for now the Vampiric Corruption is high, so we're gonna go for either Host Vestag for the Public Order, or Corruption Reduction. The Corruption will reduce itself, but once our army and our characters are gone, might not be so good. Alright, let's go for Sigmarite Dogma for a few turns, and then we'll swap it out afterwards. Although, we'll be needing to reduce the cost of the upgrades fairly soon, if we keep the territory. And I'm still on the fence as to whether we keep it. I do like the fact that it has iron, though. We could very much power up Karak-Kadrin by allowing them to have it, but, you know, I haven't been impressed with Ungrim so far. He's not doing so well. Maybe if he starts doing better, we'll give him the stuff, or maybe we'll give him, like, either one of these territories, not both. I do like the gold mine out of here as well. Anyway, I believe that's it. You know what? We can do diplomacy after. I want another fight, Karl. It's time for you to hit the Griffin Wood and burn the Wargrove of Woe to the ground.
Very well.
Alrighty, here we go, the debut battle for Karl's newly statted up Galmaraz wielding build. He now has Sundering armor as well as magical flaming attacks because of the Banner of the Eternal Flame on him, and 788 weapon strength unbuffed. We'll see how strong he gets when he gets additional buffs as well. He also does have Guardian, at least when he's around the Imperial Foot, which provide the aura, so there's pretty good reason to keep him near them, but we're not going to do that this time around. We're going to have him duel some enemies. There is a forest dragon as well as a malevolent tree man in there somewhere. The said malevolent tree man currently being focused by the hammer of the witches. And we definitely want Karl to see how much damage he can do if fighting those guys. And oh, looks like that shot got past the tree but arced over the malevolent tree man. But that's just fine. Looks like the enemy is, however, in range of a few of our units. We're going to send our summoned units forward and back everybody else up. I a little bit miscalculated on how much range the enemy would have on the barricades there, but that's okay. Now only the summons are in range, and that's not a big deal. Karl is going to fly in, going to try to dodge at least a few of those arrows, zigzagging his way through the sky to try to find some enemies. And we're not just going to keep him here, we're going to move the rest of the army in, but Karl's fast enough to run out ahead. And there we go, going to find some Way Watchers as well, or I believe these are Deepwood Scouts, yes. The Deepwood Scouts, the enemy's actually going to pop one of its effects, and here comes both the Dragon and the Malevolent Tree Man. And this is exactly what we wanted, so Karl, enjoy yourself, buddy. Speaking of Karl, we pop Galmaraz and the Harmonic Convergence upgraded at the same time, giving him 200 armor, 114 and 92 melee attack and defense, and 1.1k weapon strength, and that is once again without his personal fighty tree buffs, so he'll get stronger than this. Considerably stronger, I should say. Anyway, looks like the Malevolent Tree Man is down to about 2/3 of its HP. I'm sure that the Sundered Armor helps as well, and we're going to debuff him a little bit with the Helm of Discord from the Celestial Wizard who is floating overhead. Alright, Karl getting hit by ranged units from every direction, as well as both of these monstrous units. But he doesn't care all that much with the current amount of armor that he has. While Harmonic Convergence remains up, he's perfectly willing to fight. You know who's not so willing to fight anymore? The Malevolent Tree Man, who is now shaken and down to about 1/4 of its HP, while Karl, by the looks of it, is more or less fine. Also gotta remember that he does have a healing potion on him as well, so he can recover this HP without too much trouble. In the meantime, while that's been happening, the rest of our army has been slowly but surely moving in, the melee as well as the range, moving up. The first summoned range unit of handgunners focusing down the enemy monsters just to help Karl a little bit, while the Reiksguard move around this little blob of trees here, this little copse of trees rather, and are getting ready to charge the enemy range here. We're also going to take our handgunners and have them start gunning down those Hawk Riders, as in SFO, they're quite a scary foe. Alright, Hammer of the Witch is firing, and it looks like the Malevolent Tree Man goes down. There's still a dragon to kill, but Karl is now starting to take damage now that the Harmonic Convergence has dropped, so we may want to get him out. In light of that, here come the handgunners gunning down the Deepwood Scouts on top of the barrier, and the Grenadiers following suit. A volley or two from both of them, and this unit is pretty much dead. Alrighty, and they're terrified from Karl rushing them as well, and by the looks of it, those grenades also absolutely wrecked that barrier, which should break, and we should be able to move Karl out before he takes any further damage. Very nice. Out on this side, our Reiksguard have charged in. They're going through those Wildwood Rangers, but are also trying to charge through as best they can towards the enemy range units here. They are starting to take damage from the Hawk Riders, who are firing at them from up on high, but are now taking damage themselves from our handgunner fire. Alrighty, very nice. Get a few of them, or get a few more of them rather. There we go, these guys will drop soon, as we do have 2 to 3 handgunners focusing them down at the same time. But the dragon is also outie. 900 HP and handgunners focusing it down, and I do believe the Hammer of the Witch is trying to shoot it in the back as well, so that it cannot get away, or at the very least cannot rally, and it is too dead to rally now. Too bad it didn't drop on the elves and crush some of them. Otherwise, the balance of power is now very much in our favor at about 80-ish%, and our infantry are all moving forward into the main enemy settlement. The Reiksguard have pushed through, the first of the enemy Hawk Riders has fallen, and our Imperial Foot and Great Swords are about to run up and start attacking the Wildwood Rangers and the various Eternal Guard and other units, allowing the Crimson Lance, or rather the Reiksguard in general, to peel away and move up north and start taking out any units that are still range units and that are trying to escape and possibly rally. Let's watch a few of the infantry fight here. That includes our summoned unit, but also the nice shot from the mortars there, and Karl moving in to lead his men as well. He's at about half HP currently, though he has recovered some of it with his potion.
I will see you to your grave.
But he's still certainly willing to fight. Love that animation. And there we go, it looks like these units will be routing shortly, and I'm sure we'll find more as we move deeper into the enemy settlement. I gotta try to capture this, capture point as fast as we can, because there is a tier 4 tower here firing on us, and that is kind of a concern. Our Hammer of the Witches is now targeting the rallied Hawk Riders, but a few shots will, I'm sure, see them off as well. Reiksguard and other Imperial units, or Imperial Foot and Great Swords fighting over here. But they will win out shortly. We also could, in theory, have the support of our Bordermen, which are trying to get around the flanks of the enemy, but it's probably better to just leave our infantry to finish these guys up, as I expect that the Bordermen would do more damage to us than they would do to the dwindling numbers of enemies. Besides, we have handgunners moving in, and they can always gun down those units here. Alrighty, our Reiksguard running around in the back lines of the enemy here. They've found another unit of the Wildwood Rangers, who are applying once again their armor piercing, and we do gotta watch out for them. But we can always help out by dropping an Uranon's Thunderbolt and debuffing them with a Helm of the School to make sure that the Reiksguard don't take too much damage. Alright, there we go. A couple more lightning strikes, and this unit should be pretty much done for as well. The bounce power at about 90% in our favor, as the back line absolutely crushed. The tower soon to be destroyed, and it looks like the rest of the enemy army will rout rather than fight on. Easy little fight, or at least relatively easy. I don't imagine we suffered too much damage. Kind of did manage to blitz the enemy before they could get a proper defense up and running. I was expecting it would be a little bit tougher, considering all the arcing shots that they could do, as well as the barriers they could behind, and the relative lack of artillery we had. If we had the Sunmaker, or in general any Hellstorm rocket batteries, this would have been, or I would have been thinking at the start that this would be much easier, but it looks like we did just fine. Ooh, alrighty, not too bad. We certainly took a little bit of damage, though more to Karl than our troops, and more so because I wanted to see how well Karl would do, and he was absolutely showing off in that particular battle. Got 92 kills for himself, the most of any unit in our armies. On top of that, he was smacking around that malevolent tree man with Galmoraz while being attacked by a forest dragon and armor-piercing Wildwood Rangers at the same time, and shot up by Deepwood Scouts. The buff of Harmonic Convergence on him, plus the massive amount of stats he gains from Galmoraz, just enables him to be pretty insane. And that's without his personal fighty line yet. We're still gonna get him much more buff than he currently is. Anyway, all of our units did looks like roughly even, although it looks like the Lances of Sigmar took the crown as the highest damage dealers in this particular battle, 12k for them. Very nice, and the most kills after Karl himself. Alrighty, lovely. Alrighty, and 911 prestige, and double that in the amount of treasury, not too bad. We are not going to return this to the Elector. Honestly, it's a tier 4 settlement. Even a yellow tier 4 settlement will hold value for us, so we're going to occupy that. We can make better use of it than Ostermark can. And yeah, they're low on fealty right now, but no. Hey, we got a Razor Standard out of that. Very nice. Leonard Holtz got a Barded Warhorse for his level up. And Griffin was secured, and Wargrove of Woe has fallen as well. Very, very nice. One of the unfortunate aspects of this particular territory is that we can't get walls, but even without walls, if we build a reinforced wall building here, the garrison should be pretty darn strong. Plus, I feel like this territory is going to be good to have, especially later on, when we have all the surrounding territories, because the value that the toll gates will provide for everybody around will be pretty high. Definitely worth having. Anyway, with that, with putting both menaces, i.e. Sylvania and the Wargrove of Woe, to rest, I think this is a pretty good time to call it. We're also very much out of time as usual. So, I'm gonna call the episode here. Next time we continue northward, I guess, though we may once again make a detour to stop Azag and his rampage through our friends, the Karak-Drin dwarfs' territories, so that they can get stronger and protect our borders, at least, hopefully, from the slaves of Tsar. Maybe we can give Ungrim enough of a boost so that he is not too weak to continue there. I'm also hoping that Thorgrim doesn't need us to intervene or intercede or whatever against the Blorg. I remember somebody commented about that name before, but it's hilarious. Against the Crooked Moon, so that's all in the future, but hopefully we don't have to do too much there. More importantly, we're going to try to hunt down Belacor, and we're going to head southward with Peter to try to hunt down Ikit and his armies, and maybe take these free territories down here as well. I don't know that Montenas is going to hold or not, but it looks like it's been leveled up fairly considerably at this point. Kind of surprised that Ikit hasn't bothered to take it, all things considered. Actually, it might even be annoying if we can't take it for ourselves. All these territories are quite rich, and it would be nice to have them. We may even declare war on Telia and the Border Princes, and maybe Clan Angrand. It really depends. If they start fighting with our allies, we're not going to have much of a choice, and they don't like us very much. But that could change if we take out Skavenblight. Anyway, more Empire to come, and don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.